What is up, everybody? Jay Nell here with my UFC 243 recap video. It happened from Melbourne, Australia last night. Please go and check it out if you haven't seen it. It was a great event. It lived up to all the hype, even though we did have a disappointer with not seeing the Holly Holm versus Raquel Pennington fight because Holly Holm had some sort of hamstring injury. So someone give me the updates on Holly Holm. How's her condition? Will they rebook the fight? Let me know what's going on with that. So I only made 4 picks, and out of those 4 picks, I got 2 for 2. Phew, barely 500, and I was worried about it, honey. So let's get into it though. First, I want to talk about the first fight because of the way this fight went down. I did not do a pick. I have to start watching the Contender series because both of these heavyweights came from that series. We saw Yorgan De Castro take on Justin Tafa. Whew, I just blanked there for a second. And this ended in the first round. This was the heavyweights. And oh my God, they both wanted to make a name. They wanted to come in with a bang. They were going at it, no filling out period. In fact, it was Justin who landed a nice uppercut first that kind of stunned Yorgan. Yorgan got his wits back together. He actually caught Justin coming forward. He caught him with a right hand, all chin, snapped the head back. Justin was all the way out before he hit the canvas. He landed flat on his side, legs together, hands to the side, slump, sleep. This was a wow highlight victory. Afterwards, Jorgen's got a little personality. He's like, I know I'm chubby, but I want to fight as soon as possible. I'm here now that I'm here. I'm trying to make money for my family. Let's go. So I kind of like this guy. Let's see how he does. The heavyweight division, you don't have to do too much to get ranked. So let's see. Who do you think should be next for Yorgan De Castro? Next up, I got this pick. I chose Diego Lima to beat Luke Tremo, and he did. This was a 3-round split decision, which I think there was a little bit of home cooking there because honestly, this shouldn't have been a split decision. He just won the fight. But anyway, let's talk about it. He basically outpointed his way to a victory. He tore apart that lead leg early, and it paid dividends throughout the entire fight. There were times where he landed a kick to the lower leg where it completely swept the leg from underneath Luke, and he fell. You saw the bruising by the end of the first round, so it really paid off. He was able to land a number of takedowns, some nice ground and pound, hold the position standing up against the cage with holding his body weight. Of course, Luke had his moments. He did catch him, but again, I don't even understand how there was a split decision. Diego just won. So who do you think should be next for Diego Lima? Next up, I did not get this pick. I chose Tai Tuivasa to beat Sergey Spivak. I didn't know much about Sergey, and I'm going to have to start doing a little research. Tai landed some shots in the beginning, but Sergey ate those shots, went through it, got his hands on it, took him down, and I was like, Tai, you got to do more to DC was actually step by step saying what Tai should do, and when he actually did it, he would get up. I was like, DC, maybe you should have a little talk with Tai Tuivasa, maybe shore up that wrestling takedown defense and whatnot. But he got taken down quite a bit in that first round. Sergey got some ground and pound in. He had him actually busted up and bloody by the end of the first round. He won the first round and into the second, more of the same. Took him down, eventually got full mount, eventually got a head and arm choke. He was right up against the fence, but the way that Tai moved actually gave him space to get the proper positioning to get the head and arm choke. And actually, no tap. He actually choked Tai all the way out. Sleep. Yeah, so this was a big win for Sergey Spivak on his debut in the UFC. So would you like to see him fight next? Now, next up, co-main event, and I got this pick. I chose Dan Hooker to beat Al Iaquinta, and he did. A 3-round unanimous decision. One of the judges actually gave him the fight by 4 points. This was a dominant victory for Dan Hooker. You know what? I don't think that he's better than we thought. I think that he's realizing the potential that many of us knew that he had. He's a big, strong, accurate. He doesn't have wasted movement, high offensive output, good angles. He also tore apart Al Iaquinta's lead leg early on in the fight, and it paid dividends. He was able to take him down. He was able to bloody him up. It was very dominant. He beat Al up. He beat Al up, y'all. Fantastic victory for Dan Hooker. And afterwards, he called out Dustin Poirier and said that he would take him out, or end him, is what he said in New Zealand. I think he's a little bit too big for his britches. He's probably now just going to break into that top 10. I'm not sure that he deserves Dustin Poirier, but who would you like to see Dan Hooker fight next? And now, main event, and I did not get this pick, and new UFC middleweight champion, Mr. Israel, the last style bender, Adesanya. He did it, y'all. He's the best middleweight in the world. He did it. Oh my God. And it ended in the second round. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this. When this fight started, I knew, okay, Robert, you're going to have to lean on some of your wrestling. You need to throw some wrestling in there, even if you don't even get any takedowns, perhaps some attempts. Get Izzy to think, because Izzy's too comfortable. He's kind of picking you apart, and it started early. He was clearly faster than him, not only with his actual hand movement and with his kicks, but with his body movement, the angles, the way he fought so long with his head way back here, but still tagging Robert Whittaker. It was so tight, clean, unique. Again, he's a true artist as far as the MMA artist practitioner with that kickboxing. He is amazing. I thought that Robert needed to mix in the wrestling, but he did it. He was trying to leap inside of that guard and land some shots, which he did, but Israel rolled with him. A lot of them weren't landing flush. Even the kick didn't land flush, so Israel did a good job of not taking anything with the high impact. And then again, Robert, at the end of the round, he was getting caught by counters, and at the end of the round, he got caught by a counter right, which knocked him all the way on his back. Boom! Saved by the end of the round, the bell. And the crowd went nuts. And I already knew, okay, if he does not start to introduce some of his wrestling into this fight, he's going to lose his belt. And I was, oh God, you knew. You go into the second round. He did not incorporate some of his wrestling. Israel was nice and laid back and doing his thing, again with the angles, again with his head way back here. Robert actually landed a two-piece, but again he rolled with it, and his head was so far back that it didn't land flush. He just simply, as Robert said in the post, he was real tricky to hit. He was real tricky to hit. So anyway, he landed a two-piece, and when Israel countered, he landed with the right flush, then came back with the left, which knocked Robert all the way back onto his side. And then Israel pounced a few shots that all landed later, and the ref stopped the fight. And no! Oh my God. Israel, of course, after that, he did his little patent machine gun thing, got up on top of the cage, and was having a conversation with the camera and with the audience. He's like, I told you guys this was going to happen. My dad actually placed the bet. Well, allegedly placed the bet. He has so much personality. He has enough personality for like 3 different people. He can't turn it off. Even when they were about to announce his name and the ref had his hand, he put his hands like this and was like, so much personality. Enough personality for more than one person. Israel Adesanya. Amazing performance from Israel Adesanya. Anyway, oh, and before I even forget, on his walk out, he came out. He actually had his 3 friends from childhood put on a little dance, and from that I was already going crazy. We've never seen any choreography in a championship fight walk out. But then himself came out by himself, joined his boys, did this little in the huddle type, we about to go to war thing. Then he came out and did a choreographed dance. Little chest pump, arms to the side, Then he did a little flip, back up, patented arm wrench. I lost my mind. As you guys know about me, my favorite fighters are the ones who embrace everything. Of course, having their skills inside of the octagon, having the training, but also embracing outside of the octagon, doing the media, doing the press, pushing themselves, trying to be an ambassador for the sport. Those are my favorite champions, and we have that in Israel Adesanya. He came out and did that dance, and I almost changed my pick. Okay? We already knew he was a star. It was confirmed today. And afterwards, he even gave the whole suck it sign to Paulo Costa outside of the ring. He did everything. He had his family there. The family came inside of the ring. They celebrated. It was a great moment for everyone. I'm telling you, he has the potential to be a world superstar. And I'm excited for everything to come. And again, all that personality. And yes, he's cocky, but for me, it's the right amount of cocky. And he backs it up. So tell me what you thought of this performance. Tell me who do you think. Robert, of course, like he said, I'm a fight or 2 away from seeing Israel again. And he's absolutely right. He's only 28 years old. So who should be next for Robert? But of course, who should be next for Israel Adesanya? And any injury updates, but of course with Holly Holmes. Let me know what you guys did, how you did on all of your picks. And again, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm on Snapchat now. So subscribe, like, talk to me. Take care, and goodbye.